The entire Premier League is terrified of one team, and it is not who you think. For years, they were a joke, but what Mikel Arteta has secretly built will shock you. I'm exposing the 3 players who've created a monster. You have to see the final tactical revelation to understand why their reign is just beginning. For years, rival fans mocked Arsenal as the club of almost, the team that dressed like champions in October but collapsed by May. And yet, under the quiet persistence of Mikel Arteta, something darker and sharper has finally emerged from the ruins of heartbreak. This is not the same Arsenal that gently passed the ball around waiting for beauty. This is a side baptized in failure, shaped by mockery, and reforged into steel. The whispers aren't about pretty football anymore. They're about fear. That feeling creeping across England, that Arsenal, after 2 decades of torment, have finally become predators. Nobody symbolizes this transformation more than William Saliba. He glides across the pitch as if chaos bends around him. Attackers sprint forward only to be swallowed by his timing. Saliba tracks danger before it even exists, closing gaps, winning duels, recovering lost ground with a calm that borders on arrogance. It is because of him that Arteta dares to keep a high line without trembling at the thought of counterattacks. Saliba is not just a defender, he is the quiet armor that allows the rest of this machine to attack without mercy. But even armor cracks without a backbone, and that spine is Declan Rice. When he arrived, many thought he was just another expensive promise, but he has become Arsenal's pulse. He shields like granite, breaks lines with drives through midfield, and snaps into challenges with the cold assurance of a man built for war. And now, with Martin Zubimendi beside him, there is order in the chaos. Zubimendi floats between pressure and precision. His awareness is eerie, his tackles clinical, and his passing sharp enough to slice entire formations open. When he arrived from Spain, doubts hovered over him like clouds, but now, in only a handful of matches, he is dictating rhythms of games as if he's always been here. With him holding the fort, Rice has been set free to venture higher, to crash into the final third, to defeat teams from the front. Some say the true heartbeat still belongs to Martin Odegaard. When he drifts between the lines, everything changes. He pulls defenders out of position with a touch, a feint, a pass that nobody else sees. His progressive passes still rank among the best in Europe. His control of tempo is so icy and composed, it feels choreographed. Odegaard is not loud, not aggressive, but the game moves at the pace he decides. And yet now, he is not alone in creation. Once Bukayo Saka was burdened as the lone torchbearer, the one expected to drag Arsenal out of darkness every weekend. But something is different now. He still cuts inside, bends shots, creates magic, but the weight has been lifted from his shoulders. With Eberechi easy dancing on the opposite flank, defenders cannot swarm Saka like before. Eze, with the ball at his feet, is poetry dipped in gasoline. He dribbles not just to entertain, but to punish. He drags markers, twists them into knots, creating corridors of space for Odegaard and Rice to invade. Arsenal no longer attacks in lines, it attacks in waves. But every wave needs a harpoon. Last season, Arsenal created chances only for them to die in the box, unalived by weak finishes and hesitant touches. Kai Havertz worked, pressed, scored when needed, but even he knew he was a stopgap, not a spear. This season, Victor Gyökeres arrived, and the entire picture shattered and reformed. Gyökeres is not elegant, he is ruthless. He lives in the penalty area, like a storm, backs into defenders, spins, finishes with rage. It is not just the goals, it is the way he pins center backs, forcing them to track his every step, tearing open channels for Saka, Odegaard, Eze. Suddenly, those floating crosses, those cutbacks that once found hesitation now find a predator. And behind all of this, standing like a final guardian, is David Raya. Once doubted, now undeniable. His save percentage has climbed to levels that force silence from his critics. Shot after shot, he denies the inevitable, sweeping behind the back line with instincts built in modern laboratories. He plays like a goalkeeper born for this generation, catching crosses, launching attacks with pinpoint passes, remaining calm when chaos beckons. He does not merely protect the goal, he ignites counterattacks. Yet statistics alone do not explain why the Premier League is beginning to shiver. It is the evolution of mentality. For years, Arsenal were delicate, beautiful, but breakable. This version does not wilt. When they concede, they do not crumble. When pressed, they do not panic. Memories of last season's collapse still burn in their shadows the nights when they led the league only to watch it slip away. That pain has become fuel. You can see it in Arteta's eyes on the touchline. You can feel it in the way Declan Rice screams after tackles. You can hear it in the way the Emirates roars. Not in hope, but in belief. Jurrien Timber's return has only deepened their cruelty. Once sidelined, now reborn, he storms down the flank with 2 goals and an assist already. A defender who attacks like a winger and defends like a veteran. And then there is Riccardo Calafiori, who last season looked lost, but now plays with venom. 1 goal, 2 assists in 7 appearances, and an aggression that suggests he is done being overlooked. Arsenal's defense is no longer just structured, it is alive, it bites. This squad is not perfect, but it is complete in ways Arsenal have not seen since the days of Patrick Vieira and Thierry Henry. And unlike the Invincibles, this team was not built from triumph, it was born from ridicule. Rival fans still mock them, still wait for the collapse. But deep down, they know something feels different this time. The laughter has started to sound like nervousness. And if the rest of England hasn't realized it yet, they will soon. The team they've spent 20 years laughing at is no longer asking for respect. It is about to take it. What makes this Arsenal side even more successful is not just who starts, but who waits in the shadows. Gabriel Martinelli with fire in his boots, Leandro Trossard with clinical precision, both ready to be unleashed whenever Arteta snaps his fingers. They are no longer desperate substitutions, but tactical weapons pieces. Arteta moves like a grandmaster anticipating checkmate. Once upon a time, Arsenal's bench was a graveyard of hope. Now, it is a gallery of silent assassins. But fear did not grow overnight. It began with heartbreak. Those seasons where Arsenal marched at the top only to fall apart in spring. Players cried, fans broke, critics sharpened their tongues. Yet, Arteta stood unwavering. He preached patience, something modern football does not tolerate. Managers are usually fired for far less, but Arsenal waited. The board trusted. The players believed, and that belief has now become a storm engulfing the league. Declan Rice remembers the sting of last season, the draws, the narrow losses, the weight of expectation. He does not hide from it. He carries it like fuel in his lungs. When he drives forward, when he intercepts, when he roars at his teammates to press higher, it is the sound of a man who refuses to repeat history. He and Martin Zubimendi have given Arsenal balance they once lacked. One destroys, one dictates. Together, they form a wall between chaos and order. And standing just ahead of them, Martin Odegaard conducts the orchestra. He does not scream or fight. He bends reality through silence. Whether slipping passes past defenders or drawing markers out of position, Odegaard embodies the evolution of Arsenal, still beautiful, but no longer naive. His link-ups with Bukayo, Saka, and Eberechi Eze feel telepathic at times. And now with Victor Gyökeres constantly dragging defenders toward him, Odegaard has more freedom than ever to choose how the blade cuts. Eberechi Eze's arrival added something Arsenal didn't even know they were missing: unpredictability. Saka brings consistency. Odegaard brings control. But Eze brings chaos, wrapped in elegance. He drifts inwards, combining in tight spaces, then explodes down flanks when defenders step off. For the first time in years, Arsenal can tackle from anywhere: left, right, center, deep, high, and every route feels lethal. Then there is the invisible evolution, the defense that nobody sees until it is too late. William Saliba remains the fortress, but beside him, Riccardo Calafiori has become a revelation. He's no longer just filling space, he's breaking lines, sprinting forward, scoring, assisting, tearing open entire systems. Jurien Timber and Takahiro Tomiyasu rotate in seamlessly, forming a backline that feels less like a defense and more like a breathing organism. They don't just stop goals, they start attacks. And behind them all, David Raya remains the quiet sentinel. Last season's doubts have drowned in clean sheets. He sweeps like Ederson. He distributes like a midfielder. When he punches a ball clear or drops low for a fingertip save, it isn't just goalkeeping, it's reassurance. His calm allows Arsenal to play on the edge without falling. The numbers tell a clear story. Arsenal's expected goals per match is higher than last season. Their goals conceded is lower. Their striker now touches the ball inside the opposition box more than most attackers in Europe. Victor Gyökeres may not be a poetic striker, but he is a necessary one. 6 touches in the box every match. Over half his aerial duels won. 3 goals already, but more importantly, he gives Arsenal something statistics can't measure: certainty. When the ball drops in the box, Arsenal fans no longer hold their breath in fear, they hold it in anticipation. Yet what truly terrifies rival clubs isn't just numbers or tactics. It is the look in Arsenal's eyes. That refusal to surrender when they concede first, that relentless press in the 88th minute as though the match just began. That sense that they're no longer content with competing, they want to conquer. Teams used to enter the Emirates hoping to win. Now some arrive praying to survive. Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, they may not admit it publicly, but they see it. This is not the naive Arsenal that crumbled under pressure. This is a side hardened by mockery, sharpened by failure, powered by unity. They don't celebrate goals with relief anymore. They celebrate with hunger, because they know this season is not about proving they belong. It is about proving everyone else wrong for doubting them. And yet, the story's not over. This is only the beginning. Arsenal still bears scars, the Champions League heartbreaks, the seasons that slipped in April, the laughter from rival fans every August, when hope reset itself once more. But this time, Arsenal doesn't want hope. They want fear. They want dominance. They want silence from critics, from rivals, from history. Mikel Arteta stands on the touchline, arms folded, eyes blazing. He does not shout like he once did. He doesn't need to. His team now understands. Odegaard moves with purpose. Rice breathes leadership. Saliba embodies calm tactics. And somewhere in the penalty area, Victor Gyökeres waits, shoulders tensed, ready for the pass that will break yet another defense. So laugh if you want, call it another Arsenal cycle, predict their downfall. But deep down, you can feel it. The Premier League can feel it. Something has changed. This is not just a team trying to win a title. This is a team trying to rewrite its destiny. Because for the first time in over 20 years, Arsenal isn't chasing the crown. They are beginning to look like they might take it by force. So now you know the real Arsenal. Tell me which team you think can actually stop them. Let me know which player has surprised you the most this season. Share your predictions for where they finish in the comments below. Make sure you follow for more elite football analysis.